Welcome back to MEV Explained. So far we've built attacks. Today we do the opposite. We measure one. This is quantifying MEV, the thing tools like MEV-Inspect do. Look at a block, spot the searcher's moves, and compute their profit to the token. We'll reproduce a sandwich, then read its call trace and reconstruct exactly how much the searcher made and where it came from. Let's go. First, how measuring works. A block is a list of transactions, and each one, when it runs, produces a trace, a tree of internal calls and token transfers. Tools like MEV-Inspect walk those traces looking for known patterns. The classic one is a sandwich. A searcher buys a token right before a victim's big swap, which pushes the price up, lets the victim buy high, and then the searcher sells right after into that inflated price, all in the same block on the same pool. To put a number on it, you don't need to guess, you just follow the searcher's money. How much it put in on the front run, how much it took out on the back run. The difference is the profit, and it comes straight out of the victim's slippage. Let's build a pool and reproduce one. Here's the sandwich or sandwich on the diagram. There's a pool holding 100 WETH and 100,000 tokens. 3 transactions land in order. 1, the front run. The searcher spends 10 WETH to buy tokens, which nudges the token price up. 2, the victim. Someone makes a big 20 WETH buy, but now at the worst price the searcher just created, so they get fewer tokens than they should have. That big buy shoves the price up further. 3, the back run. The searcher sells all the tokens it just bought into that inflated price and gets back more WETH than it spent. The searcher never cared about the token, it just wrapped itself around the victim to skim the slippage. Now let's build it and measure it. We built it in Foundry. Here's the skeleton of a minimal constant product pool, the same math as a Uniswap pair. It holds a WETH reserve and a token reserve, and it lets you buy or sell. The functions that matter are buy and sell, so let's fill in the swap math. Here is the swap. The buying tokens means you put WETH in and take tokens out, priced by the constant product formula. So the more you buy, the higher the price climbs for the next person. That's slippage, and it's exactly what the sandwich exploits. Selling is the mirror. A tiny fee is taken on the way in. This is the whole engine a sandwich preys on. Every trade moves the price for the trades around it. Here's the test that reproduces the sandwich. A pool is seeded with 100 WETH and 100,000 tokens. A searcher contract is funded with 10 WETH, then in order, the searcher front runs, the victim makes its big buy, and the searcher back runs. We record the searcher's WETH before and after and print the profit. Run it plain and read the ledger. The searcher starts with 10 WETH. After the whole sandwich, it holds 13.66. The profit is 3.66 WETH, pulled straight out of the victim's slippage. That's the number MEV-Inspect would report for this block, but how do we know where it came from? For that, we read the trace. And here's how you quantify it from the trace on the diagram. Forget the tokens for a second and follow only the searcher's WETH. On the front run, the searcher sends 10 WETH into the pool. On the back run, the pool sends 13.66 WETH back to the searcher. That's it, that's the whole measurement. WETH out, 10, WETH in, 13.66, so the profit is the difference, 3.66. You didn't need the token amounts or the prices, just the searchers, WETH in versus out. Now let's see those exact 2 transfers in the real trace. Run it with full verbosity and the trace lays the whole thing bare. Look at the searcher's front run. It calls buy and there's the transfer. 10 WETH from the searcher into the pool. Then the searcher's back run. It calls sell and there's the payoff transfer. 13.66 WETH from the pool back to the searcher. Those are the only 2 numbers you need. 10 in, 13.66 out, and the trace proves it transfer by transfer. This is exactly what MEV-Inspect does at scale. Read every block's trace, match the buy then sell pattern around the victim, and sum the searcher's net. At scale, that's the entire method. MEV-Inspect replays every block, collects the full trace of internal calls and token transfers, and matches known shapes. A searcher that buys a token and then sells the same token in the same block around someone else's swap on the same pool is a sandwich. It nets the searcher's token flow to get the profit and attributes the matching loss to the victim's slippage. Do that for arbitrage and liquidations too, and you can total the MEV extracted from an entire block or an entire chain. It all rests on the one thing we just did by hand: follow the searcher's money in versus out. Quick recap: MEV isn't mysterious, it's measurable. Reproduce or replay the transactions, read the trace, and follow the searcher's money in versus out. For our sandwich, 10 WETH in on the front run, 13.66 out on the back run, a profit of 3.66, and that profit is exactly the victim's slippage. That single idea, net the searcher's token flow from the trace, is what tools like MEV-Inspect run across every block to quantify all the MEV on a chain. Next time you see a block, you'll know how to put a number on it. Quick note, rebuilding and measuring these strategies and explaining them line by line takes real work. If it helps you, the wallets are on screen and there's a Ko-fi link below. Every tip funds the next breakdown. Thank you. And that's quantifying MEV. Reproduce a sandwich, read its trace, and measure the searcher's profit by following its WETH in versus out. Exactly how a MEV-Inspect does it. Next episode, another MEV mechanism, built and measured from scratch. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Tell me in the comments what to break down next, and I'll see you there.